criticize, please. How many wars until you join me? Four species being visited before your two legs ever touch the dirt. Speaking of legs, yours reach the sky. Your beauty separates and the particles of time. Out of mind, we got to go. You plan to get all I thought I'd let you know. So try to survive, be flexible. Not to be the one that's next to you. Hate to be the one to let you go. Hate to be the one to fly high solo.
Welcome back to Alpha Omega, A6000 review, part 2, the video quality. First off, I want to apologize to everybody for taking so long for part 2 to get released. A little bit about what's going on in my life. I recently started a production company called New Mod Productions, and I got hired to do a documentary. The name is still tentative. I'll probably discuss it on the channel. But yeah, and that kind of all happened right as I was making the Alpha Omega channel, so as soon as that kind of hit, I had to do all this other work, so I've been sort of just busy, and yeah, so there's been some delays, but it's good though, because it means there's going to be a lot more content for this channel, so it's going to be good. But right now, just everything's a little bit hectic. I'm trying to do as many of these videos and have them come out as soon as possible, but you know, but I guess bear with me. And also want to thank everybody who watched the video. I think it's at 2,000 some odd views right now, and 56 subscribers, you know, off of basically just one video, and that's really cool for me, because me and my friend Peter, we did a different channel. We had a channel earlier than this called, what was a show called The After Show, and nobody watched it, and it was super depressing. Recently we did a video talking about why Bryan Cranston shouldn't be Lex Luthor. You may have missed it, because we only got 40 views. It's pretty sad. I'm guessing, you know, didn't fly too well with the Breaking Bad set.
Yeah, you know what? People are missing out though. We got some good content on our show.
We do, man. Y'all gotta watch our videos. But I guess if you're watching this, you're already watching our videos. Tell your friends to watch our videos. They'll thank you for it. They'll be like, man, why didn't you introduce me to these guys sooner?
I agree.
They're so handsome.
I agree with that too.
Erudite. What
the hell does that mean?
Well, it's a mispronunciation of the word erudite.
What does erudite mean?
Like, articulate, I think.
Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah. Yes, I agree with that too.
A bit of erudite. And, you know, it sucked. And, you know, when I made this channel, I was like very afraid of that I'd be spending all this time and no one would care, but y'all care. And y'all are watching, and y'all liked it, and y'all subscribed, so thank you so much. It means a lot to me, and it really motivates me. And, yeah. So thank you, and I'm going to do my best to make the best videos and the most in-depth, and really give you information that you would want to hear, or that I would want to hear. And hopefully you like this video, hopefully it answers a lot of your questions, and if you have any questions that I didn't answer, please, you know, put in the comments, and I will try to answer them as quickly and as, you know, best I can. But anyway, enough of the platitudes, let's get on with the review. A6000 Part 2. Video quality. I'm actually outputting the A6000 to the Ninja 2 video recorder, so we're going to get a look at what the HDMI out quality is. I've already seen it. I haven't done too many crazy tests on it, but that's going to come. I'm going to do a full review of the Ninja 2 and the HDMI output. Actually both the VG20 and the A6000. So just kind of looking at it from the beginning, the image quality looks about the same, but there is better shadow performance, but we'll get into that later. So, also we're running this is on the a6000. It is we're using autofocus right now with the 50 f1.8 lens, steady shot off. So we'll see how the autofocus on this camera handles on a tripod, you know, set holding focus. It sounds like an easy task, right? It sounds like, oh, that's really simple. It's on a tripod. It's focused on a guy not moving. Literally, every autofocusing camera fails at this test. For some reason, this is the hardest thing for a camera to do. Yeah, go figure, right? But anyway, so I don't know what it's gonna. I've never actually done this before, so So we'll see what it looks like, and hopefully it's usable. Hopefully it's good. Oh, and also one last thing. So this is like a review in a review in a review in a review. The audio is being recorded through this the Sony ECM W1M, which is a Bluetooth lavalier microphone. I've used it a little bit. It's pretty new to me. I think I got it about a couple of days ago. Used it on a couple of shoots. So far, I really like it. A full review of this is coming up, but if you want kind of a sneak peek on the audio quality, then this is what, you know, what you're hearing is coming through that. So that'll give you some idea. The first thing we're going to cover is how this footage grades. Obviously, you're watching this in the video right now, so you have some idea of resolution and overall how it looks. But how does it work in post? In my opinion, I've shot, I think, a couple of things with this. I've shot one of my art shows with it, and I've been shooting this documentary that I've been working on the a6000, and just working with it so far, I've really liked what this codec gives you. It's a really well done codec. It seems very similar to the codec that Sony has on the FS100. In that, even though it's 24 megabit and AVC HD, it's pretty much, I think, like the best you can get out of 24 megabit AVC HD. It's very flexible. The color, you can really move the colors around very well. Exposure latitude, like you can move exposures okay. I mean, it's an 8-bit 420 24 megabit codec. I would probably say you can probably get about maybe half a stop to a stop in each direction. That's going to decrease as you increase ISO. But overall, I think it's very solid, very good. I would probably, it's not going to touch a 10-bit or a RAW or ProRes, but for a consumer AVC HD codec, I think this is about as good as it's going to get. Hello and welcome back to the review. Looking at the previous footage, we're going to talk about the HDMI quality right now, and looking at the previous footage, notice a couple of things. One, the HDMI quality looks like fucking damn near the same as the regular codec, and also my hair looked really bad. So got a haircut, and now let's talk about it a little bit more. If you're looking to, I guess, record a better video quality through the HDMI, it's not really going to happen. The codecs, either the codec's really good or the HDMI out is really bad. Either way, they look pretty much identical. Is it worth getting with the a6000? I would say yes and no. If you're using this for casual shooting or for just kind of general use, I would say no, it's not worth it. But then again, you know, if you're using it for casual use, you know, you wouldn't get an HDMI recorder anyway. If you plan on using the A6000 for pro use, I do think an HDMI recorder is worthwhile because the A6000 can actually, the HDMI output actually contains the audio. It outputs the audio as well as the video. And if you get like something like, say, a Ninja 2, or, you know, actually like a Key Pro Mini or something, or a, you know, whatever, anything that can actually accept a second audio signal, you can get through the recorder 4-track audio, which is very useful. And I think the audio recorded through the HDMI, you know, through, like, I'm using a Ninja 2, through that sounds better than the audio through the camera. You can control levels and stuff, and yeah, it just seems to handle noise a little bit better. So, also you can add time code to it too, which is pretty nice. So I think it's, you know, recording it through the HDMI is worth it, but it's not worth it for improved video performance. Also, you might be wondering, man, why is the lighting in this video so shitty? Well, we're doing a dynamic range test. Well, for two reasons. One, we're doing a dynamic range test. Also, my proper lights are in my car and I don't really want to get them, so yeah, partially lazy, but officially we're doing a dynamic range test. Right now we are shooting at standard, 0, sharpness, contrast, saturation, everything is at 0, and dynamic range optimizer is off. So this is what it looks like. Looking at the monitor right now, it looks pretty shitty, very high contrast, and yeah, probably looks pretty awful. Oh, also another thing, we're doing a second stationary autofocus test. Before, we used the 50mm 1.8, which has phase detect, which is phase detect compatible. So, and I think that worked actually really well. It's very, I don't want to say surprised, but very pleased, I guess, with the performance. It held focus like a champ. Right now we're using the Sigma 30mm 2.8, which is a contrast detection only, so I kind of want to see how well does this camera hold focus using contrast detection autofocus. So I guess we'll all find out soon enough. So anyway, yeah. So to continue with that, here is the same lighting, same everything, and we are at what are we using? Now we've changed the picture profile to neutral, -3 on everything, -3 saturation, -3 contrast, -3 sharpening, and with the dynamic range optimizer at level 5. So we'll see if it makes a difference. Looking at the monitor, it looks a little bit better, still looks pretty shitty. So right off the bat, I'm thinking it's not going to be like a log profile, but it does help a little bit. This is normally the setting that I shoot at. I think one of the big concerns with when using sort of a flat picture profile is, you know, you're going to lose color information. It's going to be harder to grade. Like when you try to push things up and down, it's going to look really horrible and get, you know, banding and all that sort of stuff. But I think from what I've used so far, it doesn't really seem to have any of those issues. It seems to grade pretty well when you flatten it out. So yeah, if you plan on grading footage, I would suggest using DRO level 5 and flat everything, and neutral everything flattened out. It doesn't seem to have any negative drawbacks that I've seen so far. And yeah. As everyone knows, no microphone ins and no audio controls, which is a pretty, yeah, it sucks. I'm not even that concerned about the no audio input. I'm just really bummed that you can't control the audio, because there is AGC, and like all cameras with AGC, there is like that AGC hum, which is like the worst. It's not like, I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, because you can you can mitigate it. You can put like, if you put like background noise or like music or something, you can kind of drown it out a little bit, because it's like a slow, it's a hum, you know what I mean? So it's not something you can't cover up, but it is there, and it is super annoying, and yeah. The microphone ins, the reason why I don't consider it to be that big of a deal is because there's no microphone input, but there is the multi-interface shoe, and through the multi-interface shoe, Sony has released a lot of pretty cool mic accessories. The XY mic, that's relatively inexpensive. It's about, I think, $100 bucks. I think you can get it for $100 bucks. I think it retails for about $150, but I've seen it go under like as low as like $80, $90. And from what I've seen, that seems to be a pretty good quality XY mic. And you can also get this thing right here, the Sony ECM W1M, which I think is one of the coolest things ever released. And so there are options for external audio. Also, as a follow-up to the ECM test that I conducted earlier, the previous video where I had super nappy hair, that was using the microphone, the internal microphone on this camera. And for the videos where I'm posing in front of one of my paintings, I was actually going to be drawing or painting on it, but yeah, I'm not. I'm just talking to you. And for these videos, I've actually plugged in the Rode Smart Lav into the top of this thing. So what you're hearing is audio quality, you know, I guess being inputted into the microphone in on this mic. This is pretty cool. It's mono only, which is a bummer. But yeah, there are ways around the audio, you know, the audio issues of this camera. The ways are expensive, but they're there, so it's not. I wouldn't consider the audio thing to be a deal breaker. It's just it's an annoyance, though. I mean, it's better than like say like the GX7 by Panasonic, which is an awesome camera, but that has no microphone inputs either. And none of the Olympuses have microphone inputs either. And there's no way around it. There's no accessory shoe. There's no, you know, I don't even think they do clean HDMI, so it's not even like, so at least with this camera, there is ways that you can, you know, get around it. Whereas other cameras in this price range, they don't have microphone inputs either, and there's no way around it. So, you know, at least there's options. Expensive options, but there are options.